G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, 17 to 28. So, or 27.1 or 2 feels like 28, according to the Bureau. So anyway, who knows? But look, it is a bit hot, it's a bit sweaty, and I don't know whether I'm just feeling it because I've just come out of work or what the story is. It's Monday afternoon now, and we've been away all weekend at the Kangaroo Heritage Rally. We went there a little bit early just to have a bit of a break and chat to a few people we know and things like that. And look, it's just a cracker weekend, and they got to be happy with it. I went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on the Friday there will be a video coming out where I did a walk up and down a couple of the tractor rows, and you can see the sky was pretty crappy in the background, but it didn't rain. It was just overcast, but it looked like it mightn't be that good a weekend weather-wise. But on the Saturday, look, you couldn't have wished for better. There was a bit of a breeze coming through. I took the GoPro and did some filming of the Grand Parade and things like that, and I had to shield the microphone with my hand all the time just to make sure it wasn't blowing out with the sound. But I put a video out this morning of the Saturday morning Grand Parade where they run the tractors and that past the public. So that's out there already. I've got a bit more stuff coming. Looking back on what I got filmed for the weekend, I certainly could have done a lot more, but you just talk to people. You're wandering here and there, and you sit near your tractor for a while and everyone comes up for a chat, or you're halfway around filming something and someone comes up, "Hey Lance, how you going?" So you got to turn it off and go again. So, and then you often forget where you were or wander off to another tractor to discuss something and don't get back to it. So, but I got somewhere down the tractor yard. The Fordson Club of Australia was there, where Queensland Tractor Spares, we sponsor them. Good to have a catch up. They put up, I gave them a banner to keep, and Queensland Tractor Spares one, so they're going to show that when they set up at displays or whatever they do. The Caterpillar Club was there, Chapter 18 of the Caterpillar Crawler Club. They had some nice little gear there, and look, it was just all good. Queensland Heritage Rally, it was held by the Kangaroo and District Vintage Machinery Club, I think their name is, in Kangaroo, and they've got a great ground that they've been working on over the years. And look, you've got to take your hats off to them. It was just a good show all round. And all my followers that went, I had a yarn to a lot of you. I missed out on a lot of you. I was hearing today, like Freddie Fletcher was there. Didn't see you there, Fred, but your daughter come in and said you were there. And even Nicole that works for us, her and her mum and dad and brother and that, they all come through, but didn't see them, didn't know until speaking to them that they were there. Ian Long, I saw him around, but we just didn't catch up. And quite a few people to chat to, but we didn't catch up. You're on the way to the loo early of a morning and someone sees you and you say, "Look, I just got to keep going." So nature calls, and when nature calls, you got to listen, or else it mightn't end up well. But all in all, it was a fun weekend. And we went over there on Wednesday, and for those interested, the fuel economy on the Land Cruiser, I filled the Land Cruiser up about a week before and did a bit of running around town. It took just on 50 litres when we went to fill it up to come home, and now it's with the trailer on it doing about 95 to 100. It's about 3.25 hours run, and so yesterday when I filled up, it was sort of between half and 3/4 of a tank, 130 litre tank. But you don't take, like, it's not even quarters on the gauge because of the shape of the tank. But yesterday where we fueled up, I'm probably about 3 needles higher coming home. It's always less coming home. You're coming downhill more, and so probably 40 litres coming home. So that's pretty economical. It's probably, Biggendon's 100 kilometres, Mergen's 2, so 3. wouldn't be 300 kilometres, but it'd be 250 at least. Yeah, so that's good. That's pretty good. I was happy with it. The old Land Cruisers, you just knuckled in, and when you come up to a hill, you'd have to pop it down a gear on the odd occasion, but apart from that, it was okay. Went really well. Last week, at home here last week, I got a lot more done in the shed, as in cleaning up and things like that. I've got way more organised. Talking to John at the rally, John Hine from Gladstone, and the little crosses that I CNC cut out for the Gladstone Seafarers Centre. He's going to send me an email. He's ready for some more of them coming up. So with the CNC over there where it is, I do have to set it up, but there's not much to do there. And hopefully with the new laser engraver, I can set that up over there and away we go, and we'll see how that goes. That'll be a good little test for it, at least, doing the Gladstone Seafarers Centre and burning that into the front of the timber. So I'll have to just keep that in mind, that I've got that to happen. The Ford 2000 petrol out the front, I was talking to Ian at Kangaroo, and he's in no hurry, but I said, I had it there and my sister passed, and I'd been doing everything but working on his bloody tractor, and he's happy. He doesn't mind. But one of the neighbours, Martin, he emailed me the other day, and Martin's got quite a few tractors, big Johnnies and things like that, and he emailed me the other day and said, look, I've got this old Kubota with a front end loader on it, and I don't think it's his brother, might be his brother-in-law or something like that, is needing a tractor, just west of here sort of thing. And if he dropped it up, could I service it and get it all ready to go, just so it's a reliable tractor for him? And I said, yeah, look, I can, but just certainly don't be in a hurry, because I said, I'm just a busy bugger, and I just have trouble getting to some things. And but anyway, yesterday morning I got a message from the daughter Adele, looking after the place, that I've got a Kubota here to sort out. Well, man, it needs some sorting out. I will take you for a walk around it shortly. The bonnet's in the bucket, and a couple of the hoses, the air cleaner hose, I don't know, there's an air cleaner element there, but the air cleaner hose, it looks like it's been open to the weather for some time, and I might have, it's a bit tad more than I expected, but I told him I would, so I'll sort it. But it needs a full service and a going through, and so we'll just see. I'm just looking out there at it, thinking, what do you let yourself in for, Lance? But anyway, look, I'll try and film a bit of it, what I can, and it may be of interest to other Kubota owners if I find anything. But with the air cleaner open there, I suppose the first thing will be make sure the battery's on full charge, make sure it's got plenty of engine oil in it, and do a compression test, just to make sure that we're not putting money into something that's buggered, who knows what's there. So anyway, that's going to be an interesting thing, as if I haven't got enough to do. But anyway, I was just imagining a little 6000 or something with a bucket, and chuck the oil in and bloody give it a pat on the bum and send it out. Yeah, but not to be. I had the Sparky here last week, and Nick, and if you remember quite a while back, I got an old pedestal drill off Cyril C, and the motor was buggered, but it's got a good number 3 Morse taper spindle in it, and it's still got the wax on it. Like, he mightn't have used it once or twice. The family can't recall him using it, but and I bought that with the buggered motor. Well, I'd sat the motor on there, and I hadn't got round to wiring the switch up or doing that, which I shouldn't be doing anyway, but I had Nick the Sparky there, so I hit Nick up, and he's wired it up safely. Funny how times change, and I've got a job to do on it before I can use it. And you have the motor and the spindle come out that goes down to do the drilling. Well, underneath there, you have your switch here, your on-off switch, and that's just open under there. Nick looked at it and he says, you can't use that. I said, why not? No, I didn't know it didn't have a hole there. He said, well, what if you stick your hand up there? I said, I bloody won't. So anyway, the deal is he did it, but I've got to do that. I've got to put a plate under there and make it safe. So I'll do that sooner rather than later, or else it'll be one of those jobs that get forgotten. And I'll have to try and make a place over here or near the door or somewhere for it. It'll just be handy to have a second drill here that I haven't got to undo the 3-phase, you know, on the big compressor and things like that. The Alfred Herbert drill, it's 3-phase, and I have the variable frequency drive on it, but it's just a hassle to use, and yeah, so this one might be just set and forget, bang buy a nice vise from Hare and Forbes or someone, and go from there. Yeah, speaking to a fellow last week about a carb on his Farmall H that he was having trouble with, and he dropped it off or gave it to me over the weekend to run through. So I don't think I've ever filmed a Farmall H carb. I'll see if I've got time to film it or not. Who knows? But I do have to, my job this afternoon after I get the stew done, I was going to pop this apart, and I was just looking for the little tag on it, but it looks like the tag's missing. It should have a tiny little circle tag near the fuel fitting there, and you can see the rivet. What did I do with my glasses? Stop looking, I found them. No, there it is there. Okay. Five. Yep, gonna have to have a look at that. Whatever I tell you now will be bullshit because I can't see it properly. So, but yeah, I went into work this morning, which on normally a Monday morning early I do the stew, but today, because we've been away last week so much and the emails were backing up, and I did take an afternoon over at the rally there and check them out, you know, do a bit of office work in the afternoon. I was getting a bit knee sore. I was hobbling around. And yeah, my knee plays up a bit, and after walking all day it was playing up, so I'll go back and do a bit of a few emails and things like that before I got on the grog. Had 10 or 20 quiet beers, so I didn't drink anywhere near as much as I thought I would. So there you go, pat on the back for Lance. But I did do a session at the pub, so that was good. Then we went out to dinner there, so I did a bit more, so so that's all right. It was a good thing. But yeah, I went to the shop this morning, and lucky I did. The modem had bloody conked out and needed all resetting and that for the internet, and that's sort of my department. So so I went in there and I got that done. I got some of the footage downloaded onto the laptop that does the editing, just for safekeeping. And I got one video out and edited while I was doing other stuff. So so yeah, lucky I did. But when I was there, this little thing that I'd ordered came in, and look, it looks like a little air die grinder, but what it is, and look, you can see a little cutting tip there, and it looks like a router, but pardon me, Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering, he was doing a job the other week on TV, on YouTube, and he was doing doing an eye or something. I can't remember the job exactly, but he had this little thing, and you can, if you get something laser cut or a nice edge, you can sand the edge, you know, get it smooth, and run this around. This will put a nice little chamfer on the plate for you. It's got two carbon tungsten tungsten carbide bits in it, and you can adjust the depth via this. There's a little, you can adjust it via the thread here, then lock it in. And yeah, he said, people ask him what it was, and so he said, oh, it's on eBay, it's just a thing for getting the edge off. And I thought, rightio, I'll be in for that. So that came, I got to put an air fitting, put a male end on it. And I was thinking, with the CNC router and things like that, if you've got a slight rough edge, you could just run around as well. So yeah, look, it looks like a good thing. I haven't used it yet, but yeah, if you cut a piece of 1/4-inch steel, Plasma Dave might know. Yeah, might need one, Dave. But yeah, I think the little ball bearing here, well, what would that be? That's only, the size of the ball bearing will dictate, I'll zero that out. The ball bearing is 6.8 mil. So 270 thou. So the little ball bearing there, so you would need a nice smooth edge to run that along, because if you had a little dimple there from where the plasma started or something like that, this would obviously copy that, even though having the bearing there, it'd help out. It's like one of those laminate trimmers, if you've ever done any kitchen work. So, pardon me. It is warm in here. As a sponsor of the Queensland Heritage Rally there over at Kangaroo, when they offered us a Queensland Heritage Rally placemat with the sponsors' names and all that on, so we got one of those off them. That's a lovely thing. These are all the people that helped out, sponsors in one way or another. And so without sponsors, some of these things don't pay. So it doesn't hurt businesses to put their hand in their pocket a little bit. It doesn't hurt anywhere near as much as you think it would. And anyway, at the we had some friends there come in, and they've been like lifelong family friends. Judy was bridesmaid at their wedding, and they come in for a yarn, and I was trying to film the afternoon rally, and I'll put some of that out there. Russell, that drove my FE35 grey and gold at one of the Billawoola rallies, the bigger ones, he kindly drove my 135 in that grand parade, so I could film. So there'll probably be there's a bit of mismatch sort of stuff, a bit of stop-start sort of stuff in a couple of videos coming out, but it'll give you the general gist. Anyway, Charmaine over there, she rang up and said, "You're coming out for dinner tonight, Lance, aren't you?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. They gave us complimentary tickets, but we're sort of thinking, we had friends there, and they weren't staying for dinner, but we thought, we'll just go back to the camp." And we had stuff, a bit of a cook up and a yarn and a beer with the fellas we're camping with. And she said, "Oh, no, you're going?" And I said, "Oh, are we?" She said, "Yeah, you got to sit up the front." And I said, "Oh, here's a stitch up." So I went and found Jude, and I said, "Charmaine said we got to go out for dinner." And she says, "Oh, what for?" And I said, "I don't know, it sounds like they're onto us about something." And so, look, what it was is they wanted us at the dinner so they could present us with a certificate of appreciation for the financial support we gave for the business. So that was nice. We'll get that in a little frame, and we'll pop that up either at work or in my office or somewhere like that. So that's why we had to go. They had this little presentation for us, and look, it's nice to be appreciated. So there was us and the Queensland ACRA, the board that sort of runs QHR, and we had a lovely dinner with Cindy and Craig and had a yarn, and good thing. The Queensland Heritage Rally is every 2 years, so 2024 they're due to have another one, and our club was sort of looking at it early in the piece, but the Rum City one, but we're not there yet. We haven't got, I'm going to do a bit of homework for them, but we're not quite there yet, as in ready. So there was no club put their hand forward to have the 2024 one, but there's 2 years to go, and apparently twice in the past there's been no propositions put forward to them, and they've still pulled the rally off. So that might happen. That's a good thing. You got to have a good, strong club with a good grounds and things like that. And in Bundaberg here, I'm going to have a talk to the council, but it looks like we have to pay for the grounds, and local government, you've got to pay for every bloody thing. And as a club, we're getting a shed built up north of us here, and as a museum, and I think there's talk of the club getting a trailer to help shift some of the club gear around. And so money's not never ending, and so our club's sort of not up to it just at the moment. Perhaps later on we can, but a lot of the committee and the members at our club and the committee and that are quite new to the club, as in a few years into it, not been to these dues in the past, and A lot of the ones that were thinking about it had never been to a QHR to see. So anyway, they had the meeting, and the idea was that anyone interested go, and Davey Recco and myself, Dave's been to every meeting, I think. I've been to a few, not all of them. And but yeah, none other of our club members were there, so I thought, oh, whatever you got. But I have agreed to do a famous engine up for our club, and it'll probably be here this week sometime, I think. But look, that's about the roundup. Oh, Rob and Nick from running amok off grid, that starter we did up last week. I got a little phone message from them showing him starting it on the key, and the old 65 industrial, it seems to start well on the key. So I think we're onto a winner there. There was some discussion last week about undercutting your commutators, or undercutting the mica, or the whatever it is in between your commutators, and look, we didn't do it on that, but in the past, where I did my apprenticeship, we did. You had a little hacksaw blade, you ground the side off and you dragged it through, and I've got a little tool in the lathe, I can put it in and drag it out, but the common thing now is that you don't do it on starters, but you do it on generators, because with starters, they reckon the extra heat with the starter, if it runs, it can drag copper from the commutators across that insulation between them. And look, I don't know. I've been in the old school, as in undercut. I agreed with some of the comments. That's how I was taught, but apparently that's old school, and we should be looking at the other one now. So we've done it like that, and it seems to work well. Let's hope it works well for a long time, and we'll go from there. But look, now I'm home from work finally. Jude gives me these things. I said, look, I'm going home now. I want to pull that carb apart. I want to film the stew and do some other stuff. And the roof's crackling like buggery. Must be a few clouds coming across. And she says, okay, well, you know, for tea tonight we're having marinated chicken wings. So yeah, if I could get them on probably an hour before she comes home and let them stew. And then if it looks like rain, pull the washing in. And so I'm on domestic duties as well, so I'm going to push along here and try and get the stew done. Oh, the hoist, when I had Nick here, that's the story I was starting to tell you. The story with the hoist is we fiddled and diddled the other afternoon, Nick and myself, and we were up testing all the limit switches in case something was going wrong. And the bulb in the raised lower switch isn't working, but there's a little computer board in there, and we have good feeds into there, but the two main relays that have the power to them for the raised lower switch, they're not getting the power. So the boat is on the ground now, and how we did it was we have a left and a right motor in the hoist, so he'd put power to one relay and let him come down, say 100 mil, then power to the other, and we just zigzagged it down until we got it to the ground. So the hoist isn't fixed yet. There's a controller in there that's it's a little computer. I can't remember what it was called, but it's just a little computer, and you can program them for many, many different things. There's one of those in there, but I can buy one off eBay, the right brand, right size, right everything, but they need programming. So it must be like a controller that you can use for 10 jobs, but you just put the program in, when this happens, do that and all that. So he's going to talk to his old boss that he worked with years ago. He used to enjoy that. So we may have to get a new board for it, we don't know. So the hoist's still out of action, so no big deal, I suppose. When I have cars to service, I'll just have to roll around on the floor. So no biggie. All right, that's it. There's not much else. We drove out of town last Wednesday, and I did the stew last Monday, so probably not an awful lot changed in the shed in that time, I'd say. But I will take you for a walk around this Kubota, and this afternoon, I'll have to get the models down and work out what filters it needs and all that, and make a start in ordering parts on that. The 135 out the back that we took to Kangaroo, it's got red dirt and a bit of weedy looking shit on it. So this afternoon I've got to try and wash any foreign dirt off it on the wash bay, and I'll give it a bit of a hose down, and it can come in the shed out of harm's way. And yeah, but I think the main thing for the Savo, I'll be do this carb for a bit and pop this apart and just see what it needs. See if I can see anything obvious and run a kit through it. They're a good carby, they're well worth doing up. And you know, look, it's had a butterfly shaft wear there, but look, not enough to make it not want to run. So anyway, we'll see. I'll try and get that done this half. That's it. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. Stay tuned this week for, I've already put out one. There'll probably be another one, maybe 2 videos of just knickknacks in the QHR. There's one of a bloke that made this little engine. He made it from scratch, out of his head, no plans, and that was his COVID job. And he's called it the Owen engine. His name must be Owen. I was talking to him, but I wasn't bright enough to ask about that. And oh, look, it's a beautiful engine. He grabbed the camera for me and went for a little push around, and he made the big one, then he made the little one. I don't know which order he did it in. And he's got a little flame licker engine he made too. So certainly a talented chap. And yeah, look, there was some beautiful engines, some Tansies and Hornsbys, and oh look, there was just some lovely stuff. But like I say, the couple of days that it was on there, I just couldn't get around everything to film. And up on the hill there was all the trucks and the vintage cars and the Australian made tractors, you know, the Chamberlains and that. I couldn't get up there. Every time I went to get up there, I'd get tackled at the fence or something. So anyway, I've got quite a bit of footage, but there's quite a bit more I could have taken. So I might have a talk to my mate Dave and a few other blokes that took some different stuff and see if they've got any they can head my way. And yeah, we may be able to make it a bit more flowing instead of disjointed. But anyway, look, that's it for this week. Thanks for dropping by. We'll catch up next week, and hopefully I've done something in the shed here. There's certainly plenty to do. I sit on my chair here talking to the camera, and sometimes I sit in the doorway sitting on a chair looking out the door, and that's harder than it looks. Don't you? But anyway, I'll catch you all next week. See ya. Well, here's old Sansa. She's been pretty close since we came home. Hey, did we go away on you? Didn't we? We pissed off. Hey? Bloody good to have good owners, wouldn't it? Instead of them dodgy ones. Come on, we're going to look at a tractor, eh? Think we're going to have a look? Come on. All right. Out the front we go. There's the trusty cruiser. I still need to tidy that up a bit. But I'll zoom right out. And this is a little Kubota. Now, that's, I'll have to have a look at the slasher. I'd say the slasher clutches, it hadn't been cooked up, but it's not looking the best. Tyres are okay. This always worries me when you have a fuse box a little bit like that. But yeah, what model is it? I can't. Hang on, now here's the bonnet. So it's an L4150 four-wheel drive, and there's an air cleaner element sitting in the grill there in front of the battery. There's no pre-cleaner on it. This here, I think this hose is supposed to sit in there for the air cleaner there somewhere, but it's not. And I'm thinking it might have got a bit of a hit, you know, when the bonnet got damaged. This might have got a bit of a hit up here, maybe, I don't know. But she's quite oily and neglected looking down in here. So filters and probably filters and a fan belt, and I don't know if the old girl has any coolant in it or not. No, dry as a bone. So, but yeah, look, tidied up. It would be a handy little tractor, no doubt. Look, it's a pretty good size, but it has been sitting around a lot. It's got a bit of mould and mildew up the sides there, so I presume it's been out in the open. She's got joystick for the loader, and that sort of, well, it's not really returning. Anyway, the little caps down there are looking a bit corroded. The seat's not real good. She's done 4,875 hours. This must be the stand to put the loader on when you take it off. I'd say there's two of them. Yep, two of them there. So there'll be a little place for them to go, no doubt, down in the corner. But yeah, she's a bit hard to see in there. The fan, geez, oh yeah, the fan does turn. I was thinking, boy. Anyway, I'll have to have a really good look and go steady with this one, just to make sure that we don't miss anything or underquote anything, or yeah, do something like that to make sure it's okay to go. But the wiring, the hoses down there rubbing on the steering, so there was a lot of movement there. So yeah, so I'd say it's a bit bigger than I thought it was, the job, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll just work with it. So, all right, so I'll come back here so you can see the whole thing in its glory. And yeah, let's see how we go. I'm just looking at the radiator. The radiator's a tad blocked up as well. So anyway, doesn't matter. That's coming up at some stage.